classes.
I think they're all on there. Yeah.
Okay, I wish there was some way. I think, oh yeah, I can see that we, this is picking up our voices.
Perfect. They can see you, but not us. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Jerry and Amanda, if you're out there, this is cool. Nemaya, if you're out there, cool. Anybody else? And anybody else who's tuning into this to use after the fact as a review, that's great.
Do they you charge people for being not here?
Yeah, I ask people to, if they use the live stream, to please make a donation to the Adult Ed Fund for that. So, yes.
Okay, I just hadn't thought about it one way.
Yeah. So, okay, so David's bringing up, you know, if you are tuning into the live stream, I'm reminding you that it would be great if you would at some point pay the adult ed fee for the class. Temple Bethel will thank you. Okay, so let's start with the blessing for Torah study.
Yetzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Okay. And since this is the last of the 6 classes that were scheduled, I'm just going to begin the class tonight. By the way, the students you can't see are Gail and David over here. I'm going to start just by reviewing all the trope groups that we've studied so far and introducing the new trope group that I was going to introduce tonight, which will take us through all of the trope groups except the rare tropes, which I'm not going to be teaching in this set. So that way you'll have all of them right here. So please join me if you feel sufficiently able. This is catch up for the other students who are here, so those of you who are catching up will work for you too. So starting with the Sof Pasuk group. Mercha Tivcha Mercha Sof Pasuk Mercha Tivcha Sof Pasuk Tivcha Mercha Sof Pasuk Tivcha Sof Pasuk. Okay, you got that one down.
I know these two. No.
That's
Okay,
right.
that's good. That's good.
I know this one. I'll see
Okay,
how good this is.
at Nachtag group. Okay. Mercha Tivcha Munach et Nachtag. Mercha Tivcha et Nachtag. Tivcha Munach et Nachtag. Tivcha et Nachtag. Okay, those are the easy ones.
You can stop now. Oh, I do have notes on this next part.
All right, so if you remember any of this next, do it with me. If not, use as review. Okay, this is the Zakef group, mostly Zakef Katon, but it does have one little Zakef Gadol at the bottom. So it's, then it would be Kadma Mapah Pashta Munach Katon. Kadma Mapah Pashta Katon. Mercha Pashta Munach Katon. Pashta Katon. Munach Mapach Pashta Munach Katon. Mapach Pashta Munach Katon. Munach Katon. Yetiv Munach Katon. Yitir Katon Zakev Gadol. And there's a few possible combinations within this group that actually didn't make it onto this otherwise exhaustive list, but I will be happy to help anybody with those when you encounter them in the readings. Moving on to the Revi'i group, or Revi'ah group, means the same thing. Munach Revi'ah Munach Legarmei Munach Revi'ah Dargah Munach Revi'ah Kadma V'Azlah Munach Geresh Munach Gershayim. And if you encounter a mercha within this group, it's just mercha. Okay. The next group is the Tavir group.
Where I have it.
Okay. Dargah Tavir Mercha Tavir Munach Dargah Tavir Munach Mercha Tavir Kadma Dargah Tavir. And the next group is the Segol group. Munach Zarka Munach Segol Zarka Munach Segol. This is the one that's tricky. Kadma, that's it. Kadma Munach Zarka Segol Zarka Segol Kadma Mercha Zarka Segol. And the Tavir group and the Segol group, often people do them with a few extra notes, a few extra trills.
Where are they found? Beginning, middle, end?
Oh, there
all
are
over the
various places. You'll hear in various places. Zach made up his own really great Zarka. I don't know if you were at his bar mitzvah. It was just great.
I was gone that week.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the group that we have not done yet, and it's the group that I'll be introducing tonight, and this is the Talisha and Pazer group. It's hardly a group, there's just two Talishas and one Pazer. But these are common enough that you should know them because you will encounter them. So. Munach Munach Talisha Gedola. And you often encounter that without the munach, sometimes with, sometimes without. And these things often show up in pairs and groups of each other. Munach Talisha Katana. Munach Pazer. And that's it. Those are your ta'amim. So, why don't we, I think you know, it sounded like you knew the first two groups pretty well. So let's just do some Torah with those two verses, with those two groups. And I noticed when I was looking at Parsha Korach, or Parsha Shavuot, or Parsha of the Week, that it had really a lot of the trope groups in it. It was a very rich trope Parsha. So I think we can find everything in here without too much difficulty.
Should I go get some books?
Wouldn't hurt to have some
Do we have another one? Another,
if you're going to at least grab one more.
Yeah.
do we have another one of these?
We don't have another tikkun, but we have an art scroll tanakh.
Yeah, I think that might,
The other tikkun is missing. It's been
right.
missing for months.
Missing, yeah.
Been missing for months. So
And also in between being out here and being in the library, and which one's missing is varies.
Right. So we'll just, since we're starting with the Sof Pasuk group, and since there is a Sof Pasuk in every verse, there cannot be a verse without a Sof Pasuk group. And so we'll just start with chapter 16. We're in the book of Bamidbar, chapter 16, verse 1, and we'll just go straight to the Sof Pasuk of that one, of that first verse. And it's easy to find the Sof Pasuk group because you go to the end of the verse and work your way backward. So this one has an example of the first one, the complete Sof Pasuk group. So we'll go ahead and do that while Gail is getting another Chumash or Tanakh. I think here she comes. So if you look at it, it says, let's see. Oh, it's a name, Ba'on. Ba'on ben Pelet, B'nai Ruvain. So it would be, we're on Bamidbar, chapter 16, verse 1, right at the beginning of Parsha Korah. Ba'on ben Pelet, B'nai Ruvain. There yet? Okay, so the end of verse 1, starting with Va'on. Do you see it? Okay. Va'on ben Pelet, B'nai Ruvain. And going on to verse 2, which Sof Pasuk group does this one have? This one has Mercha. No, not looking at the Kadma. We're looking at the end of the verse for the Sof Pasuk group.
Oh,
so
okay.
We're looking at, it's got a Mercha, Tivcha, Sof Pasuk. So it's the second one. Good. Kyrie Moed Anshe Shem. Good. Okay, moving on to the third one. The Sof Pasuk. Looks like it's a complete one again, so let's skip that one and see if we can find something different. Looking at verse 5. Oh no, looking at verse 4. We're on verse 4, which is a very short verse, and it has a Tipcha Sof Pasuk. Good. Okay, verse 4. So it's Vayipol. Got it? Verse 4. It's a very short verse. It's the verse starts Vayishma Moshe.
Yeah.
Oh, then
right
it says
there. Oh, there's the end of
Vayipol.
it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So it's Vayipol al panav. Oh, you got into that one right away. Okay, and so maybe one more. We'll see if we can find something else. Let's see, verse 5. Here we go. There's a complete one. Verse 6. That's another Tikva, so pasuk. Let's just look at one more and we'll do whatever it is. So verse 7 ends with Tibcha, Mercha, so pasuk. Good. That's the one.
Or Shamu.
It starts Rav Lachem. It's the end of verse 7, just before you get to it.
Oh, wait. It might be several B'nai Levi's in here.
Yeah, right.
How's it start?
Rav Lachem. Oh, the beginning of the verse?
Oh, either one.
I mean, the beginning of the verse is Utnu Bahem. But the beginning of, here, let's just look on together.
Rav Lachem.
Yeah, Rav Lachem B'nai Levi.
There are like 3 in a row that have B'nai Levi.
Yeah,
Which is what
and there's several different ones that say Rav Lachem.
Yeah.
You have enough. You have too much. Okay. Rav Lachem B'nai Levi. Good. Okay, so now let's go back to verse 1, and let's look for the etnachtas in each of the verses. So most verses have an etnachtah, so here it is. It's on, surprise or surprises, Ben Levi. So it starts with Ben Yitzhar, Ben Yitzhar, Ben Kahat, Ben Levi. So it's giving Korach's lineage.
It couldn't start. How do you know that it didn't start? Oh, it does start with Ben Yitzhar.
Ben Yitzhar,
Okay, yeah,
Yitzhar,
okay.
yeah. And you tell because you go back to the last
Right.
master trope you see, and it starts after the last master trope.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So this one would be Ben Yitzhar, Ben Kahat, Ben Levi. Good. So let's see if we can find the next one in verse 2. Here's an etnachtah on Umatayim, and it looks like it goes back to V'anashim. It's a complete one. You see it?
Yeah.
After Lifnei Moshe, V'anashim is the mercha. Okay. V'anashim Mibnei Yisrael Chamishim Umatayim. Excellent. Okay, let's look at verse 3 and see if we can find the etnachtah in verse 3. Here it is. It's on Adonai. How far back does it go? It's just 2 words. So it's a tikha etnachtah. You see it? Okay. Uchtocham Adonai. Good. Let's try one more. What is actually verse 4 was a very short verse, so it doesn't have an etnachtah. So go to verse 5. And there it is. It's on Elav. So it starts with the Ed HaKadosh, the Hikriv, Elav. It's about, you see it?
I see.
The Ed HaKadosh. Okay, there we go. So it starts with a tikha. The Ed HaKadosh, the Hikriv, Elav. Great. So you two have the 2 most common groups down. So that's important.
Nice to know we're common.
Well, that's good because, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that Scott's bar mitzvah in August, he only had to learn 3 trope groups.
That's how you pick your portion.
I think he did. But, okay. So the Zakef group is very big.
No, you don't pick the portion, you pick your specific verses.
Yes.
You don't have any
Yes,
portion.
that's right.
The verses, right?
Yeah.
Because you
Okay.
could work backwards, find a group that has the right verses, and then
then-
pick the
yeah, right.
and then pick your portion from there.
Right. Okay, so let's find various things in this very diverse Zakef group. So
Mhm.
again, going back to,
Look for the colons.
At the top.
so the very first
Above the
is
line, right?
a munach katon. Vayikach korach.
Yeah.
Oh, right, at the vocal line, right? Yeah, right.
So it would be Vayikach korach. Let's do that again. Vayikach korach. Good. Okay, moving on. We have another one in this, no, not in this verse, but we have one at the beginning of verse 2. Vayakumu lifnei Moshe. And remember, when you see 2 pashtas on a word, you only do this first one. Okay. Vayakumu lifnei Moshe. Good. You got that. And then the next Zakef group. Here we go. Okay, so this one in verse 3, it's after the first Rav Lachem, and it starts Ki Kol Ha'eda Kulam Kedoshim.
Mhm.
Got it?
Mhm.
And it starts with a mafach. Ki Chol Ha'eda Kulam Kedoshim. Excellent. So do you notice that you're reading cold here? And you're incorporating the trope into your reading? So that's important to notice. I mean, I personally find it's easier for me to read cold with trope than without it.
I'm having a discussion with a friend of mine. She's, whether or not trope has to do with pronunciation. It has to. She said, "Well, that's not pronunciation." So I said, "No, if it figures in the syllabic emphasis, then it's pronunciation."
Right. It does include it.
Yeah.
It includes pronunciation. It includes punctuation, and it includes it's a memory tool.
Yeah, it's not specifically pronunciation, but you're telling how to emphasize the syllables,
Right.
then it's involved in
It
pronunciation.
is. It is. Yeah. Okay. So here's at the beginning of verse 4, very much like the beginning of verse 1. It's Vayishma Moshe.
Mhm.
Vayishma Moshe. Good. Easy. All right. Okay. And this is the same, so let's see if we can find a different one. Let's see. Oh, here we have in verse 7, Lifnei Adonai Machar.
Mhm.
Okay. Lifnei Adonai Machar. Great.
Well, there's,
Oh, here's a good one.
there's-
You see in verse, I guess it's verse 9. I think, yes, it's verse 9. It starts with the Elohei Yisrael Etchem Me'adat Yisrael. Do you see it?
Mhm.
So it starts with the Kadma.
Mhm.
And you know it's a kadma because there's a mapach after it.
Right.
Seriously, that's how you know. If there's no, if that mark, if that ta'am comes after a mapach, it's a pashta. If it comes before it, it's a kadma. Elohei Yisrael Etchem Me'adat Yisrael. Do you want to do that one again, Gail?
I'm not.
Oh, you haven't found it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, it's starts on the third word in of or fourth, depending on whether you count the hyphens. Elohei of verse
Oh, right
9.
there. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Elohei Yisrael Etchem Me'adat Yisrael. Great. Let's see. Looking for something, a different combination that we haven't done. Well, here's a Pashta Katon, the beginning of verse 10. Vayakrev Odcha. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vayakrev Odcha. Good. Let's see. So we haven't come upon, like, if we could find a Yativ or as a Kef Gadol. Those would be the ones that would be fun to do. So I'm going to scan really fast. So if you see any Yativs or any Zakef Gadols, call out.
What about right here?
What do you see? What verse are you on?
Yud Gimel, I believe 13, or maybe into 14. Zavat Chalav Udvash. No, is that it?
Zavat Chalav Udvash. It's a Mapach Pashta. Yeah, there's no Yativ. The Yativ, it looks like a Mapach,
it's before,
but it's before the word.
Okay.
And it's usually a very short word. If it's not a single syllable, it's usually a two-syllable word with the emphasis on the first syllable. I know I saw them in here when I was scanning the Parsha. Okay, so if we don't find it easily, because I don't want to... Oh, here's a Sakef Gadol. Okay, so this is verse 28. Kafchet. And towards the middle of the verse, there is a la'asot with a Zakef Gadol on it. The middle of verse 28.
What are the words? Oh, la'asot.
It's just la'asot. Zakef Gadol is
yeah.
usually just a single word, so it's one of those ta'ams that really punches out the word.
What's the symbol?
Zakef Gadol at the bottom of the page.
It's on top of the line with the colon.
It looks like the Zakef Katon, except it's got a line next to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
This mark?
The one top.
Or this?
Yeah, that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I didn't recognize it. I thought it was like 4 dots.
No.
Okay.
I see.
Okay, let's do that one again. This is a hard one. Good. One more time. Good. Does that feel good, or do you want to do it again?
Let's do it one more time.
Okay. Great. And I'm just going to keep scanning now for a Yativ. when you're scanning for something like that, you
You
kind
never
of look
find
to, well, I've gotten better since I started teaching this
Yeah,
class.
so when you're scanning for it later, you never find it just because
Well, there's that too. There's the Murphy's Law of looking for
anything,
ta'amim.
or for looking for anything.
Yeah. Here's a yativ. Okay, so we're in chapter 17 and verse 4. Yeah, and it's 1, 2,
Oh, yeah.
3. It's a
That's-
fourth word.
Machtot,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's hate machtot hanachoshet. I should have known because this is in what I'm reading on Saturday. I should have
Yeah,
known there was a
it's
yativ there. Okay. Hate machtot hanachoshet. Good, let's do that again. Hate machtot hanachoshet. One more time. Hate machtot hanachoshet. That sounds great. Okay, so I think that covers the most important and the most frequently encountered of the ta'amim in the Zakev group. So let's move on to Revi'ah, and again, let's go back to the beginning. Or do you want to just go on from here?
No, whatever.
Yeah, fine.
I was just
You
going to
know
go
what
back to
there-
the
yeah,
beginning.
in fact, then we can always, I can go to this one
Right.
section, no wonder.
Okay, so Revi'ah. So what we're looking for is we're looking for the dime in the Revi'ah itself. We're also looking for Kadmava Azla. I'm noticing that Geresh is pretty unusual. You don't encounter it a lot, so we won't stand on ceremony looking for a Geresh. But we will find Kadmava Azla. We will find Ger Sha'im. And I didn't find any Merchaz. I rarely find Merchaz with the Revi'ah group, but it's there every now and again. So let's look for the forms of, at least 2 of the forms of Revi'ah, the Munach and the Munach Lagarme. We won't worry about the Dargah if we don't encounter one. And Kadmava Azla and Ger Sha'im, those are the ones that are important, that you will encounter.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is this
there's, right in verse 1,
one? Okay.
there's a Kadmava Azla, and it's V'datan v'aviram. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Okay. V'datan v'aviram. Good, one more time. Yeah, it is pretty. V'datan v'aviram. Good, one more time. V'datan v'aviram. Good. Okay, so let's keep going. Did you say you found a?
Oh, I wondered if I was the.
Oh, here's a Ger Sha'im. The first word of verse 3. Vayikachalu. Vayikachalu. Yes, it's every one of those letters has a vowel. Okay. Vayikachalu. Again. Vayikachalu. So this is a really good example because it shows you that you hold the introductory notes as long as you need to until you come to the top.
Yeah.
Vayikachalu. One more time. Vayikachalu. Good, and we'll keep going because the next phrase is a Revi'ah phrase.
Above the Lamed?
It starts with al.
Oh, no, that's just the.
It starts
I
with
see. Yeah, that's what I thought. Aharon.
Ba'al Aharon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's above the Resh of
Resh of
Aharon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's.
and it has a munach before it. Al Moshe Ba'al Aharon Al Moshe v'al Aharon. Again. Al Moshe v'al Aharon. Good. How about one more time? Al Moshe v'al Aharon. Good. That sounds really good. And then let's see if we can find. The one thing we haven't found is a Munach Lagarme. So you'll know it's a Munach Lagarme when you see two Munachs in a row before a Revi'ah and it's got a line. That looks like this line
This,
here.
is this one we're doing?
Yeah.
Munach, VA.
But it's not just Munach because a
Munach
Munach
line, right.
Lagarme has a line. And again, what that line is called slips my mind.
So this is sort of a Munach joke, right?
Yes. Who's there?
Yeah. No, who's on first?
Oh. So this one's a little harder to find, but we'll at least give it a try. Again, when you're scanning for something like this, what you're scanning for is the unusual thing, so just look for the line. And then if you find the line, see if it's separating two monachs. Okay, here it is. Okay, verse 17. Yud Zayin. And it's Vayikhu ish machtato.
Wow, wow.
You see it?
Pops right out, doesn't it? Once you
When you know what you're looking for, yeah.
That's what you're that?
Pardon?
Is that in front of that?
Yeah, ukhu.
Yeah, okay.
It's got a negation, yeah. All right. Ukhu ish machtato. Good. Let's do it again. Ukhu ish machtato. Great, again. Ukhu ish machtato. That's terrific. Let's do it again. Ukhu ish machtato. Great. Okay, and I just see that there's a ger shayim at the end of that line that I can't resist since we're in that group, and it's v'hikravtem. So it's just 4 words after what we just did in verse 17. V'tikravtem. Okay. So remember ger shayim. Ger shayim. V'hikravtem. First time. One more time for good luck. V'hikravtem. Excellent. So that's the Revi'i group. Okay, getting into the trickier groups. Going back to the beginning of the Parsha, Tevir. And again, with the Tevir group, we are looking for Tevir. Every member of the Tevir group, every constellation of the Tevir group has a Tevir in it. So we're looking for Darga Tevir, we're looking for Mercha Tevir, if it has a Munach or doesn't, and if it has a Kadma or doesn't.
Should I say it or not? We have nothing to fear but fear.
Oh, you should always say it. Always. Okay, so Tevir is pretty easy to spot. You're in. The only thing that makes Tevir hard to spot is when there's a chirik under the same.
Is
There you go.
Elifah?
Yep. Okay, and it's got a dargah. So this is a dargah Tevir. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's kind of a flame looking weird. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, dargah looks either like an S or a backwards Z, depending on how pointy the font is of the Ta'am.
Yeah, or almost like in some ways, almost like a badly written script lamet almost.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. B'nai Eliyahu. Okay, again. B'nai Eliyahu. Again. B'nai Eliyahu. Sounds good. Let's do it again. B'nai Eliyahu.
I did need that with Mexico. Okay.
Okay, so let's find another one. Here's one. Oh, good. It's a mercha tavir at the, let's see, this is towards the end of verse 2. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words from the end of that verse. And it's Nesiye Eda. Okay. Nesiye Eda. Great. One more time. Nesiye Eda. Excellent. Let's see if we can find another. Be nice if we find one that's got a. Oh, here's one. Yes, that's the one I was just looking at, and it starts with a kadma, so that's great. You see it? It starts with the Yoda with a kadma on it.
What verse are you in?
I'm sorry, 5. David and I were looking at it. I should have
about
said.
the middle. Or,
Yeah,
about the way in there.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words in. V'yoda Adonai et asher lo.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, 16:5. Okay. V'yoda Adonai et asher lo. You've definitely got the idea of how to punctuate with the trope. That's really good. So again, V'yoda Adonai et asher lo. Again. V'yoda Adonai et asher lo. Again. V'yoda Adonai et asher lo. Good. One more time. V'yoda Adonai asher lo. Oh, I forgot the et. Et asher lo. Now we have to do it again because I messed up. V'yoda Adonai et asher lo. Good. And then there's a tavir all by itself, just kind of below that. In this printing, it's right under V'yoda, and it's on V8 to tavir by itself, which is not unusual. V8. Good. One more time. V8. Okay, that's good. Let's should we look further for Munach Darga or? It is an interesting Munach. Let's just look a little bit and see if we can find a tavir group that starts with a Munach. So all the Tevirs that I've seen have been standalone Tevirs. Okay, that's a Mircha Tevir, but no.
Not this one.
Which one?
Oh,
one,
it's the wrong way.
it's a
Sorry,
standalone.
wrong way.
It's
Wrong way around.
Oh.
That's the wrong way around.
Oh, I see. You were looking at a.
I think
There was a cheering.
Loop with the dot. So.
Yeah, that's.
What about right here? In
No, it's a Mircha Tevir.
Yud,
No, we're not.
Yud Zion, is it?
Yud Zion?
Atah Vahim. No, that's not a Menach, though. But it's right after the Eknata.
Did you say Yud Zion?
Isn't that? Or is that Yud Vav? No. What is that? That should be.
Yeah, it's you love because they're no way.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Atah Vahim. But that's not a.
I'm not finding it.
Is it right here?
that's right. Yeah.
Because there's that Nakta.
That's a Mircha Tevir. And what we're looking for is something with a Munach.
I thought, yeah, it was. But then I realized it wasn't Menach.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to spend a lot of time looking for this, but I'll look just a little bit further. Oh, it's just a Dargata here. No. But I'm seeing lots of great Segals. Dargata here. All right, I'm ready to let it go. If we happen to come upon one while we're doing other things, because I don't want to waste a lot of class time. Okay, but we've done pretty well with Tevir.
I think I found this one.
Good. Okay, where are you?
Chapter. I guess I'm still in.
17, chapter 17.
Lamed Gimel or Lamed Daled?
Lamed Gimel, I believe. We're still in 16.
16.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say.
Hain B'Kol Asher. I think there's Menach under the Hain.
Okay, say it again. Lamed which?
Gimel.
B'Kol Asher Lachem.
Great. Well done. You found one.
Found one.
All right. So we're on. So it's verse. Let's see how long it is. 33. Lamed Gimel 33. We're still in chapter 16, and it's Haim v'chol asher lahem. Okay. Munach Mircha Tevir. So we wouldn't, the Haim is a single syllable, so we wouldn't do the Munach. We would just do Nach. Okay. Hey. Oops. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Hey. V'chol asher lahem. Good. Again. Hey. V'chol asher lahem. We dropped a key or two, I think. You okay with it? Hey. V'chol asher lahem. Good. One more time. Haim v'chol asher lahem. Good job. Okay. So moving on to the Segol group, of which I saw many as we were going through. So going back to the beginning. Okay. So there was one in back to the beginning of chapter 16, verse 5. So it's the et kol adato lemor, right? You see it? Okay, verse 5. And it's a Zarkad Segol. Ve'et kol adato lemor. No, we're going to start with it. Kind of good. Ve'et kol adato lemor. Again. Pardon?
The L.
The L. Oh.
I know. I catch that when I'm doing it. I trope too.
Ve'el kol adato lemor. Again. Ve'el kol adato lemor. Good.
I'm not sure how to squiggle the that's our as far as I yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
I know once we find the next one, there's going to be, here's one. There's going to be several in a row. Okay, so we're still in chapter 16, and this is verse 28, which we have seen before. But it's the first two words, and it's the same. It's a Zarka Segol.
how do you do that with two in one word?
Okay, Zarka, when you have two in one word, you do the first one.
Verse 28.
Yeah, verse 28, the first two words. Vayomer Moshe. Good. Vayomer Moshe. Again. Vayomer Moshe. Good. So does that make
So
sense?
it's kind of like the other trope where when you have two of them, you ignore
Yeah,
them.
you ignore the second one. And you have to know what the rule is for each of the ta'amim about that, because some of them, when you double it, you do the other one. Actually,
there must be some.
I have.
Yeah, there must be some.
because in some trope systems, you actually pronounce both of them.
Okay.
So, for example, in the Hake Ventura system,
Uh-huh.
you pronounce both of them, and I'm sure there are others. Where are all those millions of Segols that we were seeing when we were looking for other things? Let me ask you.
I threw the others in the washing machine.
The dryer ate it with the socks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Am I just crazy? Didn't you see lots of them when we were going through before?
I didn't know.
Oh. Maybe I'm just going too fast. I'm missing them. Here's one. All right. Oh, good. It's got the munach too. Okay, so we're in chapter 18, and it's verse 8. Vaydaber Adonai el Aharon.
What does it change?
Yes, a really different phrase.
Right, I gotta find
Yeah, verse 8 with chet.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Where does it start?
At the beginning of the verse, Vaydaber
Okay.
with the munach.
Oh yeah.
Vaydaber Adonai el Aharon. Good. Vaydaber Adonai el Aharon. Good again. Vaydaber Adonai el Aharon. One more time. Vaydaber Adonai el Aharon. Good. That sounded great. So I think that's probably, do you feel like you have a feel for the Segol group? Because there's not much more to it.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally there's the Munach Segol, but it doesn't add that much. So if we don't find one of those. Okay, here's another one. And it has the second munach, but not the first one, so that'll give you a chance to practice it the other way. Okay, so it is verse 11. We're still in chapter 18. Verse 11, and it's in the middle of the verse, I think. And it starts with L'chol tanufot b'nei Yisrael. Okay. L'chol tanufot b'nei Yisrael. Good. Let's do that again. L'chol tanufot b'nei Yisrael. L'chol tanufot b'nei Yisrael. Good. Let's do that one more time. L'chol tanufot b'nei Yisrael. Good. Very good. Okay. So we are ready to tackle the Talisha and Hosea. Do you need one of these
I
to
have it.
look on? You want to look on?
Oh, sure.
You should have more of them.
I know I saw a tennis racket shrimp or somewhere before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There were several words that had the two of them on one word.
Okay. So a few words about Tlisha Gadol and Tlisha Katom. Thank you. Okay. So again, like I said before, they sometimes come with a munach, and when they do, it's a really lovely little munach. It's munach. It's really a pretty little munach. Munach. Okay, so sometimes it comes with that. Now, Talisha Gadol is, I believe, the exception to the rule of the doubling. I think it's the only one, it's the only one I can think of that when it's doubled, it's the second one that you attend to. And I'll be able to verify that when we look at some examples.
Yeah.
Because if they turn out to be in the wrong place, if I do it that way, then I'm going to eat my
You'll
words. I'll eat my words. So Talisha Gedolah and Talisha Getana look very similar, except one, the Gedol heads towards the where you've been. Well, they both head toward the heavens, but the Gadol heads towards where you've been, and the Katan leads towards where you're going. If you're reading.
Well, it depends it depends how you figure where it's pointing.
Oh, that.
Oh, I was
that
thinking
way.
that. That's true.
Yeah.
I was thinking of it. It's the lollipop head.
Yeah.
Right. I was thinking about the pointer.
But you were thinking of the pointer. Okay. All right. So that wrecks that. That system. So develop a system for yourself is the rule here. And let's see. And so Tlisha Katana, again, if it's doubled, I believe it's the first one that you attend and not the second one. I don't think I've ever seen Pazer doubled. I can't remember offhand. And they all take the same munach if there is a munach, but more often they stand alone. Tlisha Katana often follows other things. So I think you'll see that when we do some examples. And so here's how they go. Munach Talisha Gedolah. And Talisha Gedolah comes back to the same note that it started on. So it has a feeling of resolution to it. It goes up and it comes back down again. So I will do it again and then you can do it with me. Munach Talisha Gedolah. Okay, together. Munach Talisha Gedolah. So it's very simple. It just follows the scale up and it follows the scale back down. Again. Munach Talisha Gedolah. Good. Sounds good. And then Talisha Katana kind of goes down a little. Somebody, when I first learned it, somebody in the class, I think it was Namaya, said it sounds like a Gregorian chant. Munach Talisha Katana. So again, it's very simple. It just goes down, up, down, up. Let's see. Dot, dot, dot. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. All in a very short range. Munach Talisha Katana. And of these three, it's the one I encounter the most. Munach Talisha Katana. It often follows Kadma va'azla without the extra munach. Munach Talisha Katana. Okay, so Pazer is a little bit trickier. It does a similar thing as Talisha Gedolah. If you look at the notes, they're pretty similar, except it goes up one note higher and then descends in twos. No, it only does a two. It descends in twos once. So it doesn't come note by note down the scale. So, and it doesn't come back to the note it started on, and so it leaves you with that kind of unresolved musical feeling. And the way it goes is Munaf Pazeh. So it's a little bit trickier. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to just. I think I'm gonna have to watch these. Never mind.
I can't read music either, but I do watch them for going
up and down. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Munah Pazeh. Good. Again. Munah Pazeh. Again. Munah Pazeh. That sounds pretty good. Let's do it one more time. Munah Pazeh. Good.
It actually has an extra note. One more note than the
Gedolah.
Yeah.
Right. There's one extra note.
Well, in the run.
Yes. Yeah, because there's that
Where it's faster.
that little 16th note in the middle.
But it's quicker.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it has a quicker turnaround. Okay, so I actually took some notes on where to find these.
Well, I have one right here that has a
Okay.
couple.
Let's
Just so you can just
let's
go
just
right
do
to
it.
there.
Okay, what you got?
Well, it's in chapter 17, verse 5. Well, I don't know what.
Chapter 17, verse 5.
Oh, wait, I'm trying to see. Oh, it doesn't always have to have the munach.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It often doesn't have
Okay.
one.
All right. So it
Okay.
says share.
Yeah,
so
this
I
is in
wasn't
my
sure
reading
this-
on Saturday also. There's two of them. There's Lama'an
Yeah, Lama'an.
and then there's Asher.
Yeah.
So this does confirm that with the Gedolah you do the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was remembering.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the Talisha Gedolah in Lama'an, verse 5, chapter 17, verse 5. Lama'an. Again. Lama'an. Good. And then drop down a few words, about 6 words later, Asher. Asher. Again. Asher. You've got it. So there is a pazer with a tlisha katana just a little bit above that. Here it is. The beginning of verse 3, same chapter, 17. You'll see 8 and then machtot. So we have a pazer, tlisha katana. And the way that sounds is machtot. Once you get it, it's actually not hard. Tlisha katana is really very easy, actually. And it's right kind of in the middle of your range.
Easier.
It's not high and it's not low.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually one of the easier ones, I think. Okay. Pazer, on the other hand,
That's
the hard one. Okay. Machtot. Good. Again. Machtot. Good. It sounds like you've got the Tlisha katana, and the pazer is the harder one, and it is harder. Again. Machtot. Again. Machtot. Good. Want to do it again? Machtot.
fancy sounding for two little words.
Yes, isn't it? So then, let's see, I did find some of these other combinations. Okay, turn to chapter 18, verse 17.
Chapter what?
18. I'm sorry, not 17, 7. Chapter 18, verse 7. And at the beginning of the verse, there's two munachs, and then Talisha Gadova. So this is not a munach l'garme, it's just two munachs. And so in this group, when you see two munachs, you just do them the same. So it's Va'ata uvanecha idcha. Good. So let's do that again. Va'ata uvanecha idcha. Again. Va'ata uvanecha idcha. Good. Do you want to do it again, or is that comfortable?
And again, it's never going to hurt.
Okay, all right. Va'ata uvanecha idcha. Good. And then turn back to, let's see, this was an interesting one. Turn back to chapter 16 and verse 5 on the word boker. It's just a Tadlisha Gadola by itself on a word that is starts with its emphasis on the first syllable. Boker.
And verse 5?
Verse 5, which is hey.
5 words in, 6 words in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boker.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's boker.
Yeah.
Because the emphasis
This
is
is on
on the
yeah,
first syllable,
yeah.
so all the changes happen
Yeah.
in the first syllable. Boker. Okay, again. Boker. Good. So you've definitely got the feeling for how the trope and the syllable emphasis work together. And we did that one already. So now moving on to Talisha Katana. Verse, still in chapter 16, verse 14. Yudalit. We have another Pazer and then a Munach Talisha Katana. So that's a nice little combination. I thought you'd have some fun with that.
Or something else.
Or something like that. Okay, so you see it, it's at the beginning of Aliyah Sheni. Af lo el eretz. And again, this is a Talisha Katana, and so you ignore the second of the ta'amin, and you emphasize the first. Lo el eretz. Very nice. You got it right away. Again. Lo el eretz. That's really good because this one's tricky for a number of reasons, because both the af and the lo are single syllable words, and because eretz is first syllable emphasis word. So that's good. Let's do it again. Lo el eretz. Excellent. That really is good. And then 18.2, we have another one with a munach in front of the Talisha. So 18.2. Vagam at the beginning of the verse. Vagam et achecha.
Mm.
See?
Mhm.
Okay. Vagam et achecha. Good. Vagam et achecha. Again. Vagam et achecha. Again. Vagam et achecha. Really good. Like, do you want to do it again?
Sure.
Okay. Vagam et achecha. Good. And let's see. Oh, we had a nice one in, I didn't write what chapter this is. I think it must have been 16 then. Hoping to find everything in chapter 16. Okay, so 16:7, if I have the right chapter. Yeah, here it is. So it's well into the verse, maybe 8 or 9 words in, and you'll see utnu bahem eish v'simu. So it's a double munach, a pazer, and then a talisha katana. And that's what I mean about you often see combinations of these.
Let's see.
Okay.
So there's Aish.
Eish v'simu.
Mm-hmm.
So go
Okay.
back to words utnu bahem vahem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Utnu vahem eish v'simu. Great. Again. Utnu vahem eish v'simu. Great.
So so I see the munach under the behain,
Mm-hmm.
but
You don't see it under utnu? Under the nun of utnu?
what is the trope right there?
Another munach.
No. No.
Oh, could they have a very bad?
It's a
Okay.
bad printing.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like a straight line.
Just a
It looks
straight
like
line.
it looks like this one here.
So it's two
God.
munach. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's a double munach.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, let me just.
Yeah.
I've been known to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. There was
I wouldn't
no
do it in
way.
the library book, but I do it in my own books when I find
Yeah.
errors.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, the tikkun is going to be the most authoritative
Mm-hmm.
because it's the one that is really important.
Written
That's
for
right.
that. Yeah. It's written for that.
Yeah. Okay. Utnu vahem eish v'simu. That's good because this one's really complicated. Let's do it again. Utnu vahem eish v'simu. Okay, want to do it one more time? Utnu vahem eish v'simu. Good. And then we have the same combination in verse 26. Five words in, we have Suru na me'al. From above, me'al. Okay, got ready?
Yeah.
Suru na me'al. Good, again. Suru na me'al. Great. Suru na mea. Again. Suru na mea. One more time. Suru na mea. Great. So,
Out of curiosity, why is the trope over with the llama instead of the iron?
I don't know why sometimes the ta'am is on the first letter of a syllable and sometimes over the last letter. I've not figured out rhyme or reason.
I can think of it that the llama has no vowel to go with it, therefore it doesn't have a.
To keep it company?
I guess. I don't know. Lonely llama.
Okay, so we have a few minutes left. Do you have any kind of questions or concerns hanging overhead that you'd like to cover before we kind of end this series of classes?
I don't have enough knowledge to ask. I just need to start singing with the music, with the.
You know, it's kind of weird. The first, having done it for a few years with this the tape.
Yeah,
now I'm
right.
kind of cross-referencing, and it slowed me down. It's actually slowed me down the first time because I'm looking at that and I'm instead of just singing, now I'm trying to correlate.
Know what you're doing.
So now it's
kind of like reading for meaning.
Like that.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, and now so it's slowing me down learning.
Sure.
New stuff. Well, the old stuff maybe might not be as bad, but learning new stuff is a little bit slower because. Wait, now I'm trying to integrate two different pieces of data.
So what it will do is it'll slow you down for a while, and then eventually, as it starts kind of clicking into place, it will really speed up learning.
Right.
Because it will. Oh, I know this group. I know that when there's this trope, that the next ones are often this, and you start getting used to the feeling of which groups often follow each other. And there's certain words that you see them with the same trope over and over again, that same word. I mean, how often do you hear somebody chant, right? So that's like the obvious one.
Yeah.
Or,
this is why you can never find your spot when you're looking for that.
That's right. That's so true. So yeah, after you incorporate it, it will actually start speeding up your learning. But yeah, this is the learning curve here.
Right.
All right. So again, since this class tonight covered all of the trope groups except for the rare tropes, this is a complete learning tape. This one, this YouTube. Right. So I think it actually probably is the best one for anyone to practice from.
Right, you can just go straight through.
Exactly.
And not have to go, okay, now go ahead 15 minutes to get to the next one, or 20 minutes, or whatever. Exactly.
There's a little bit of time that we spent, looking around in the Chumash, but not too bad. So this has been really fun to teach. And again, I'm still available to help people learn their readings. I'm still available to make recordings as long as folks need that.
Oh, obviously, I'm going to be asking for that.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should have like a follow-up class, like partly to keep motivation, but like 2 or 3 months down the road, do another where we go through them all.
Like
just suggesting that.
Yeah. I think that's a possibility. What we'd be looking at is after the high holidays.
Okay. Yeah, just as something.
Yeah.
Not just dropping it.
Right. I assume that, you've already told me you'll be reading for the high holidays, and some of you listening may be reading for the high holidays. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to teach this. It's been super fun.
Very enlightening.
All right.
So what it's all going on.
Thanks. All right. Go turn off the live stream. Lila Toe, friends.